Last time, we took a look at this lot of world coins and some Americans that I bought at a local coin shop for $5. And I called this the quality lot, quote unquote. Well, today, we're going to forget about quality, and we're going to see if quantity does any better. Hey everyone, Woohoo here once again with yet another World Coin purchase from our local coin shops here in the area. Last time around, I showed you another lot that I also bought for $5. That had about a dozen World Coins and some Buffalo nickels in it. This time around, I'm going to show you this lot of 40 coins. It's a full half pound of World Coins that I bought from my local coin shop, one of the other local coin shops, I should say. So same amount of money that I spent on the lot that I showed you last time, but a different amount of coins. And I just realized this one should be in there as well. So let me clear this away, and we'll just very quickly go through these. And I'll show you what I picked up, and you tell me how I did. This was the stray one from over there. 10 pence from Ireland, 1996. If you watched my pre-Euro currencies video, you'd know that that is still technically exchangeable for euros. So that's why I pick them up. Not that I ever really have any plans to go over there anytime soon, but it's still money. And speaking of still money, so is this. 5 new shekels from Israel. This one actually has some pretty decent face value behind it. It has about $1.50's worth of face value. So that alone would probably cover most of my expenses for this coin lot. And the rest would come from, and I'm going to do 2 at once as I do this, these 2 coins right here. A total of 30 Czech crowns. We have a 10 and a 20 from Czechia, the Czech Republic, if you still use that term. The more recent 20 crown from 2020 and the 10 crown from 1993. I have actually been to Prague about 9 or 10 years ago now, and when I was saving my pocket change from that visit, for some reason I forgot to save a 10 crown coin. So all these years later, I'm glad I finally have one in my possession. Let's see, is there anything else over here that is still technically legal tender? I think this is 10 pesos, 1981. Here, let me punch in a little bit more so you can get a better look at this one. 1981. But look at this design. República de Chile, so Chile. Libertad, 1973. So it's a liberty commemorative. I have another 10 pesos coin that doesn't have a design nearly that nice. So that's pretty neat. So a new design for me. Still technically legal tender. Not worth very much, but still legal tender. And so is this. The Republic of Kenya, 10 shillings from 1997, featuring President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. I'm no expert on Kenyan coins. I have this coin already, but from a different year. So I figured I'd go ahead and pick this one up too. So 10 shillings, rather nice. I think that this is still legal tender. This is 10 somethings from Bahrain with a palm on the obverse there. Look at this. It still has some pretty nice mint luster to it as well. I'm not sure what the year on that is. I would probably guess, I know that's a 5. That might, I'm not that great at my Arabic numerals. But this might be 10 mils. So this might be like a penny, basically, in Bahrain. But I'll correct myself in the description, in the captions rather, if I got that wrong. And then let's see here. We have some stuff that I'm reasonably sure. Oh no, one more thing that can still be legal tender currency. In fact, it's not worth very much, 5 cents, but from Singapore, 2013. This is a new series of coins that was released that year with new designs. Rather interesting structure over here with the lion motif encircling the entire thing. So that's a denomination and design that I didn't already have, so I went ahead and snapped it up. And I think this one is also legal tender. It's 10 somethings, but this is a script that I know belongs to Ethiopia. I'm not sure what that says down there. But look at that. That's a lion. That's a very nice design. So 10 somethings, I'll figure out what that is, and I'll let you all know down below. And we'll now get into some things that were withdrawn from circulation and either are no longer viable or got replaced with something else. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take out a whole bunch of these coins over here. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm just pulling them out off screen just ever so slightly. But there were 6 coins from Turkey before they revalued their currency. So you have the 1 lira, 1960. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, like all Turkish coins have. The 2.5 lira, which oddly enough is the biggest one. The 2.5. There's an aluminum 10 lira from a few years later. There is an FAO commemorative version of the 10 lira coin, also in aluminum, that I think I have as well, but I didn't pick that up in this lot. But that's a very nicely uncirculated coin. And then the denominations start to jump up, as you see in the later years. You have 1987 with the 10. This is 500 lira from 1989. And then it gets even bigger. 2,500 lira just a couple years later, 1991. So that's when you can tell inflation was really starting to get out of control, or maybe already was. And then just a year later, 1992, 5,000 lira, twice as much. So that's always an interesting set to me, so I decided to snap all of those up. Speaking of stuff that's also interesting to me, pre-decimal currency, such as this. New Zealand, 1 florin, 1962. It's copper nickel. I don't have very much of New Zealand's pre-decimal coinage. I know I do have a florin, but it's from a different year than this one, so I decided to pick this one up as well. And speaking of pre-decimal coinage, India, British India that is, because look at this, King George VI, half an anna from 1946. And more pre-decimal coinage, for this time from Britain, 1929 halfpenny, with George V on it. And it is rather beat up and a little corroded and maybe even a little bent, as you can see right here. It's worn pretty slick, but that is a farthing, half of a halfpenny, so a quarter of a penny. Look at that year, 1885. 1885. So that was a neat little pickup for me. Yes, I know it's in terrible condition, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for copper pre-decimal coins from Britain. So how could I resist? And believe it or not, I don't think that's the oldest find we'll have in here, as I'll get to in a minute. Something that is not quite that old and not that pre-decimal. 1 centavo from 1946 from Mexico. I picked up another one of these in one of my earlier videos from a different year, and I figured I liked the design a lot, so I decided to pick up another one. So there, 1 centavo, a little bit later on in the run, though, 1946. Let's see, what else do we have? Another copper, 1 peso, 1942, but from Chile. There's Bernardo O'Higgins on the front here. But this peso, I think, has long since been demonetized. I think Chile revalued their currency, and they're using the peso that they're using right now was first deployed sometime in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. But that is a very nice, thick 1 peso coin. And let's see. Here's one from a country that no longer exists. 20 dinara, 1955, from the former Yugoslavia, with some Cyrillic text around there. Very interesting brass coin from 1955. 20 dinara. Let's see, what else can I show you? Another Mexican coin, then this one's huge. 5 pesos, 5 pesos, 1977. There's the familiar coat of arms of Mexico. So that's rather neat. I think this was keeping in size with a former silver version of the 5 peso coin. However, that example that you saw right there is copper nickel. Let's see. Polynésie Française, French Polynesia, 10 francs. République Française, 1982. I don't know if this is still legal tender, actually. I thought I remembered reading that French Polynesia decided to abandon this franc and go with a different one, but I may be wrong about that. I have the 20, but I don't have the 10, so I figured I'd pick this one up too. Let's see, moving right along here. Here's Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. This one, however, is 1 gulden from the Netherlands Antilles from 1992. I'm actually told that this currency actually was replaced by a common East Caribbean currency in actually earlier this year, or last year, 2025 maybe. So these are since demonetized, but I have some of the smaller change, so I figured I'd pick up one of these as well, since I didn't have that one before. Now, let's see. Speaking of thicker coins, that's not $1, that's 1 ringgit from Malaysia, 1990. This is an interesting little pattern here with the torch on it. I'm told these coins were extensively counterfeited when in their day, so they quickly demonetized this and switched back to a banknote, a 1 ringgit banknote. But the lower denominations, the fractional denominations, are still coins. Let's see here. What else can I show you? Belgique, or Belgique. Belgium, 2 francs, 1944. How unusual that both the French and the Dutch renderings are on the same coin. Usually there's 1 inscription on each. There'd have to be 2 coins. That one has 2. That one, well, you know what I'm trying to say. And this is an interesting denomination that you don't see every day. 300 reis from Brazil, 1936. An interesting portrait there as well. Carlos Gomez. Worn a little thin, this coin, I think, but I picked this one up just for the interesting denomination. So that was a neat little find. Let's see here. Now this one, I want to say, actually I don't know who that is, but as you can see, Vietnam, 1 dong from 1960. This actually, I think, would have been South Vietnam at the time, as they had split into North and South. But that's a version of the coin I didn't already have. What have we here? 100 leones from 1996 from Sierra Leone. Is this a cocoa plant? I recognize those the shape of those pods maybe as cocoa shapes. But Sierra Leone is a country that I don't think I had any coins from, or if I did, I didn't have very many of them. So that is a neat little find as well. What next? 25 piastres, 1952 from, oh, this is Lebanon. That tree gives that away. It's a neat little coin. I like the wreath with the kind of the incuse band with the denomination in the middle there. And of course the cedar tree gives away where this coin came from. I'll pop that one down there. And then a couple of coins that are not perfectly round. This one's a little 12-sided coin, or I think. Nigeria, 1959, 3 pence. I had all the other denominations from Nigeria, but for some reason I forgot to pick this one up when I got the chance. And now I have one. And speaking of non-round coins, look at this one. This is a hexagonal coin, 20 paisa from 1988 from independent India. We had a British Indian coin earlier on, hence why I felt the need to make the distinction. And last but certainly not least, now I said this farthing right there is probably not the oldest find in this entire hunt. This one, however, probably is. Take a look at this. Now, the details look terrible, but that was by design because these coins were made of iron, and iron did not wear very well. This is a Kanetsuho coin, Kanetsuho, from Japan. The denomination would have been 1 mon. So 4,000 of these would have equaled 1 ryo at the time. But the interesting thing is, these were minted in a town in northern Honshu near the city of Sendai called Ishinomaki. And when you compare this to the copper kane tsuho, you can see the details on the copper one, even when worn like this example is, are a lot clearer, a lot sharper than this one over here, than the iron one. But that's because this was later in the waning years of the shogunate, probably like late 1860s or something like that. Somebody on the Treasure Town Discord actually helped me identify exactly what variety of this coin actually is, so we could pin down a year a little bit better. I'll put a little caption down there so I can show you what that distinction is. But this was a really cool find, so I'm very glad I got to pick that up. So that is all of the coins that I picked up in that World Coin bin. Let me zoom out a little further so you can actually, so you can actually see all of those. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed a look at all of these world coins you can see right here. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite. And let me know down below, now that you've ostensibly seen both the quality and now the quantity videos, which lot you think I did better on. Or is there a such thing as better? Who knows? Anyway, hope you enjoyed a look at both of these recent world coin purchases, and I'll see you next time when I've got another coin-related topic or another coin hunt to walk you through. I'll see you then.